All right, well then, I guess I just have to. I guess I just have to trust to see that this is working. How the fuck do you do anything? Oh, okay. Well, this should be interesting because I see that OBS updated, and then I see that there's a bunch of features. One thing to note is that I'm alone in my house right now, and also, that means hi. Cassie is very curious about what's around my room. No trash picking, okay? Okay, there. Okay, great. Okay, so this lets me. What does this let me do? Right, it just says YouTube Live Control Panel. Okay, so I guess, but is the chat gonna show up? Oh, wait, insert ad, delay ad, add stream marker. Cool. All right. Nice. I'm not even sure if like, my mic is like doing everything right. Like, let me see that real quick. Active, okay. I got another tell, so that's cool. Is it even right? Properties, microphone, Scott Solo, that's nice. I'm sure this is very entertaining. And I'm not even anticipating a lot of people like being here right now because January 2nd, how many people are off January 2nd? Me. um, yeah, that's the whole reason I'm able to do this right now, so. Let's just give it a second. Oh, and I hope you don't mind. I made ramen. I haven't eaten anything today. And I woke up at 6. But then I went back to sleep because I had a dream last night and it was a really good dream and it was one of those things where I wanted to go back to sleep so I can keep on dreaming. But it didn't really work. So I fell back asleep at 6. I just woke up and got up at 10 and then oh, sorry, this is gross. Also found out that I skipped some of my medication last night on accident. Totally forgot about it. So I had to take all my medication at once this morning, and that was nuts. Why did I take it on an empty stomach? I don't know. I just had 1 cup of coffee, and now I'm having ramen, because I suppose that's how I roll. Okay, what else? However, this will let me at least catch up on everything. And just let you guys know how things have been doing. What happens if I do this? Type or paste your live stream URL. Oh! Okay. There. Schedule. No, we're doing it now. All right. And I don't even want to think about the EQ. Okay. Let me see. One. Done. Done. Changes saved. Okay, let's see if that worked. All right, fire trucks in the distance. Okay. Okay. Where do I go? Drive. Google Drive, the vein of my existence and my career in this. Okay, there. And actually, I'll keep you here, and then I'll do here. Wow, okay. Let's see. Where do I begin? Where dost one begin? So I put out a question form first with like a bunch of like questions, or well, not scratch that, reverse it. I have no idea how the new Wonka movie is, but anyway. Basically, I put out a question form because I wanted to filter out for my FAQ, which I did edit a bit last night, but I guess that's where I should really like start off, because mainly the whole reason I wanted to do this as a live stream, first of all, is because I didn't want to edit this. I got not that many questions, but I got over 20 questions, and I like just want to answer it in a live stream because I don't want to cut it all down, and this is just as real as it gets for me. And now I know that a goal for myself last year was to like, if I ever was to live stream, I'd actually plan ahead, be a good planner, be a good like YouTuber, and like let you know when I'm gonna go live. But it doesn't always work like that. I don't always have the guts to do that. Shush, phone. Okay. So I guess that I should just start this off and hope that everything is fine and good and dandy, right? I think so. Oh, but at least like this, it looks like this like control panel is like pretty accurate. Yeah, so we're just gonna, let's just dive on in because somebody comes home in an hour and I want to get started. Let's jump right into it. So, what's something you wish people knew about your writing and or content? I'm not sure if other people know this already, but I try to put some aspect of myself in everything that I do. Or at least, you know, when people are like, oh, well, you write what you know. Well, mine is like, okay, yeah. A lot of the times I want to put a theme in my work. I want to give listeners a sort of feeling. And I make that feeling by like words, right? Like the scenario, like the role play aspect of everything. So I guess like what I would like people to know is that I put a little bit of myself into everything. And excuse me, a lot of the times I put real stories in my in like my audios sometimes. Uh some of them I make up, some of them are from other people, some of them like yeah, 100% happened to me. And yeah, I think that answers the question. Do you like being autistic? No. No. I don't. I don't. I would have preferred to live life where I don't overthink everything, and that social interaction was easier. And the only real good thing about being autistic is that I memorize things quickly. I absorb a lot of information very quickly. And whenever I find something that I like and that like I obsess over, it really brings me joy and I love that feeling. It's very euphoric. Um that's the only good part about being autistic really. Everything else is like it's a hindrance to me. Oh, oh, Annabeth. Oh, I'm sorry I made you feel bad. I was hesitant to like post it actually as well. And also when I was driving to the pet store to buy my dog some food, she it like hit me in the head like, "Oh, wait. I forgot to like put up the script because I did have a script for that and I've been holding on to it for a long time." So I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made you sad. Thanks for the hug. Oh, this question, when will you do a full audio for an autistic adult baby? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that would be a hard script to write. Uh, because more often than that, I like audios to have like one theme involved in like every aspect or every scenario. It's like so I have something to focus on. But when you combine autism in with something else, it's like it's kind of a bit overwhelming, at least for me to write. So I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry, but for me, it would be much more easier to just make an an audio about being autistic versus an audio about being, like ABDL. You get what I mean, right? Let's see. It's gonna take me like an hour just to eat this bowl of ramen if I keep going this way. Like, I'm not gonna like. I'm trying to not slurp in the microphone. Do you still watch cartoons? I haven't actually sat down and watched anything for a while. I did just finish The Crown, the last season of The Crown, and I cried. But yeah, generally I do like cartoons still. I do. Or re or rather I've been reading cartoons like with graphic novels and mangas. That's what I've been doing lately. What are you going to when are you going to do a 2-hour autistic comfort audio? I promise you, if it's 2 hours, like something is on my mind. I gotta get something out of my chest. I have no clue. 2 hours? 2 hours? 2 hours? I'd imagine like making a sleep aid for 2 hours. But God. Uh, Hiya, Joey. Or DL Joey. Hi. Um, I don't know. Okay, next question. Do you prefer more structural metered verse, such as Shakespeare and Marlowe's work, or more free-form drama, like what Tennessee Williams wrote, both as an actor slash writer and as a consumer, I suppose? Okay, that's actually a nice question. I love questions like these. And also, every time I read Marlowe, it's like, Christopher Marlowe. If you know that reference, we can be friends. Well, I'm sick of Shakespeare. I'm so fucking done with Shakespeare. It's like I kind of want to like leave him behind where my bachelor's is. But Marlowe, I love Christopher Marlowe. Like, uh, that that was so good. Like Mephistopheles, and I Dr. Faustus. I love Dr. Faustus so much. And if you can ever find yourself like, okay, the Globe, the Globe Theater, you know, where Shakespeare performed, they did their own version of Dr. Faustus, and it's my favorite. And one of the guys, the guy who plays Mephistopheles, he plays one of the doctors in Doctor Who. So I don't watch Doctor Who, but yeah. I love historical stuff when I can understand it. And I've been in multiple Shakespeare shows before, so I do have a lot of good memories attached to Shakespeare, but it's overrated. It's free and it's overrated. And I think that it's like almost like it's too, okay, I have a heated argument about this that you kind of just spurred on with me. But there are a lot of people who take historical work and they try to make it as if they're doing something different when actually they're not. They're not being original at all. So I really like Shakespeare work when it's like done correctly with more like historical accuracy, not like this modern day crap. Like, why are you making Shakespeare steampunk? There's no reason to make it steampunk unless you're going to do something different and it actually goes with the themes involved. Go right ahead. But like otherwise, no. Now Tennessee Williams, I actually don't like Streetcar. I had to read Streetcar when I was in college and I didn't really like it. A lot of Tennessee Williams' work is very abusive. And you know, it's a reflection for the time. But I think I'm more into Henry Gibson, actually. That's a good medium where it's not too old, it's not too archaic, you can understand it, and the themes, because like that was from the Victorian era, and also he wrote it in a Norwegian language that doesn't exist anymore. You're literally like basing everything off a translation. So, but the themes are there. Like the lessons are there. So I like stuff more like that, where it's old enough, but it's not too far away. That's not to say that like modern plays aren't good, like they don't get my attention. Like I really like the work of Sarah Kay, but her work is very gory, so just it's not for the faint of heart. Um um or like Jose Rivera, he's another playwright that I like. I kind of went off topic, but yeah, that would answer the question. Let's see. Next one is the Sir Knight series over or will you post another video about it? I think I got this question actually before I posted the finale of Sir Knight. So yes, Sir Knight is over. I actually thought about doing like an alternative ending for my Patreon, but I fucking hate the princess voice. I really hate the voice I gave the princess. It's annoying. So chances are I won't be doing that. But I'm just so happy that I'm really proud of the story. I really like the story because I felt like that was something that I had to like get out of my system. Um, I needed like a forbidden love story. I needed a royalty story. And I did that. I can knock that off of my list of things that I wanted to write. But I'm also happy that it's over. So it's a very bittersweet kind of ending. But yeah, Sir Knight is over. I hope that you liked it. Um Also, don't expect me to do any kind of themes with pregnancy ever again because that was what I was comfortable doing and that's as far as I'm ever going to go. All right. Are there any F-dom or F-sub scripts you really like but haven't performed for one reason or another? Um Actually, funny story. Wait, am I allowed to say this on YouTube? I'll make it safe. So, I guess I did come across one script and I did record it, so it is in my queue to edit as of right now. It's an F sub script, and I really like it. I still have to ask the author permission so I can offer it as early access on Patreon, but I made the mistake of not reading all of the tags. I just read like the first line. I mean, there was like a good like paragraph of tags, so like it's a lot. It's a lot in one script, to be honest. I'm not going to give anything away or spoil anything. But there was one particular tag that is on my hard limits list that I skipped over. And I remember, well, a lot of the scripts that I perform, a lot of the times I just sight read it, actually. There are only a couple of times where, like, if it's long enough, I will, like, okay, let me read it beforehand and then I can start performing it. Well, for this particular one, I thought, no, I'm just going to one-shot it. Like, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. I'll redo lines as I go along. That's how I process everything. But I was sight reading everything. I was acting. Everything's fine. It got to the point where that tag made itself known. And I was like, oh, these are the words coming out of my mouth. That's gross. It's very gross. So that, I feel like that didn't answer the question. Well, sometimes I don't perform certain scripts if it just doesn't suit my fancy. Like if it doesn't feel comfortable for me, I won't record it. Sometimes it's too long. Sometimes it's just not the writing itself, like the conversation of everything, like how they wrote out the conversations more like. Can you hear my toilet in the background? Sorry if you can. Let me think. Wait, huh? Wait a second. Oh, I just found a missing makeup brush under my desk. Okay, great. Cool. I didn't know that was down here. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Cassie. My dog just came to check up on me. Hi. Yeah. You okay? All right, thanks for checking up on me. You good girl. All right. Let's see. Hi, I haven't tuned in for a while. Could you please do a recap of 2023? Also love the Barbie Arch video. Thank you. You're like only like the second person to really make that known. I showed my feet for free on the internet and nobody gave a shit. Any more on the way? Any more on the way? I don't know. I'm only going to show what I find comfortable in myself. What's up, baby? What's up, Cassie? You gotta go outside? No? You okay? Okay, you want my attention? You gotta go outside? You gotta go potty? She's not doing that thing where, like, she usually dances if she has to go outside. And you just want to be with me? Okay. Just hang out with me then. It's okay. It's okay. Let me see. Yeah, I should really do that. I should do, like, my updated, like voiceover, what do you call it? Thank you. She's a Pomeranian. Cassie is very sweet. But she also has a habit of biting her harness, which I gotta get her a new one soon. And also kind of being a little bitch and, like, knocking over my cat, my old grandma cat who's 16. What the heck do you call that? That like snippet, like a sample of my work, the whole like sample of my work. I gotta update that. I really should. Hey, no trash picking. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have my attention, don't you? Okay. Be nice, okay? Sorry about that. Do you plan on continuing the Mermaid in Your Bathtub series or making other mermaid audios? Well, mermaid audios, yes, they're definitely still on the table. I really got to finish the Elikai series, really. Thanks. I'm happy that my voice is calming. So the thing about the Mermaid in Your Bathtub series, it was originally written by somebody else. Their name was Sergio Romper, and they quit. They stepped aside, so they didn't like want to continue on with the series, but they did give me permission to continue on with it. But still, I wanted to get their feedback, because that was their story, and like I know how they would like it to end. But it's all a matter of like writing it out, and the problem is I didn't have the time to write it out. It is still there. I could always return to it. But also one thing that's kind of like bothering me is, well, there's a lot of effort that comes into the audios, with the sound effects of the water and like, the not safe for work aspects of everything. But I suppose it's like I'm struggling because it feels almost wrong to continue on with somebody's work, to continue on with somebody's story, because I don't know if they're still on the internet. Like anything could happen. And I really don't want to like step it over a boundary that I didn't know was there. Like, you know what I mean? But I should get in contact with them again. Let alone the whole idea of a collab recently has been very much bad. Like, I have not had good luck with collabs, so chances are, when it comes to that, chances are I'm not going to do it. Well, not to say that I won't, like, continue doing the Mermaid in Your Bathtub series, but it's just, there are things I have to think about first. And yes, there is new ABDL content that is in the works. I'm writing up a new series actually for the little girls that watch me. So I actually just wrote the well, I started working on the 5th episode, which so now I'm like halfway done with the series if I like do it the way that I want to, but I also might do some bonus episodes as well that I've yet to do. But yeah, I'm still working on ABDL, but I'm focusing on the series rather than the one shot as of late. What would you like to do differently this year? So, my New Year's resolution is to only spend money when I need to. I mean, I went to 9 concerts last summer, and it was 2023 was a very expensive year for me. Like I got a new car and like I got a new job and I kind of celebrated a bit. What is that noise? Oh, okay. Cassie's just playing with her toy. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so basically 2023 was a very expensive year for me. So I got a better job. I am making more money, but also my money's been going away quicker than ever because of overdue bills, and that kind of sucks. So my New Year's resolution is basically only buy things if I'm replacing something. And like basically that's it. Like if I need it and if I'm replacing something. Like I could like before it was like, oh yeah, I should buy things like that I'm going to use, but that is a formula for tricking yourself into buying things that you actually don't need. Also cutting back on like going out to eat or like getting coffee. I can make coffee at home. Well, it's not just coffee, but like fast food as well. What's your favorite part about playing the mommy dom character if you have one? I like invoking feelings in the listener. Like, I understand that a good majority of my listeners, like, I know that it's entertaining, but I also find that people find comfort in those kind of audios because whether or not it's because they have mommy issues or they have a kink they're into that, like, I'm happy to provide for that, like, if that makes any sense. Like, it's like making up a fantasy and being able to like create an outlet where people feel safe to indulge in that fantasy. Trying to finish up the ramen, one sec. It's nice. This is shrimp maruchan. This is a paragraph. How did you get started doing voice acting? What do you do when you're not doing this? Hobbies, books, hanging out. Where do you want to go from here? Any big projects in the works? What's one thing you want to do in life if you got the chance to do it? Favorite color? What's your favorite book? When you're looking at other work, be it writing or voice acting, what do you look for? Where do I start? Well, how I started to do voice acting, I did mention this before, but basically in my last year of college, well, it's very traumatic, but you know, I'm in therapy right now. I'm working on it. I've come to terms with it. But I really started voice acting because, well, in order to answer that question, I have to go back further than that. So I was going to college for theater and technical writing, and I got fired from a show. And it took me down a whole spiral of depression. And that's how one night I ended up finding that audio role plays were a thing. And then I started finding out all these voice actors that were like making a whole career out of like doing this, you know? And then I thought, hey, well, you know, I have a degree in theater. Like I'm having the most shittiest year of my life. I need to find some new form of outlet where I can be theatrical and I can also write and I can like do all of these things and I can just, you know, have somewhere where I can like have this creative outlet, you know? So then I was like, hey, maybe I could do this too. And that's how I ended up where I am right now. Now, what do you do when you're not doing this? I do watch a lot of YouTube. I do. I go shopping a lot. I've been alone a lot. My friends haven't spoken to me since the fall, actually. But you know, I collect things. I collect American Girl dolls and antiques. I go antique shopping. I read books a lot. And yeah, that was another question. What's your favorite book at the moment? Well, it's still Grow Up by Ben Brooks. That's a really good book. But more recently, wait, let me go get it. I want to get the author right. Where are you? Okay. The one graphic novel that really got me into more graphic novels was North Ranger by Ray Tercier and Bre Indigo. Like, this is really good. If you're into LGBTQ, AI+, and you're into horror, like, this one's a really good one. I do recommend it. Okay, where do you want to go from here? I don't like to answer that question. Any kind of question that's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I hate that because I'm always wrong. Any big projects in the works? The ABDL series, as I mentioned. What's one thing you want to do in life if you got the chance to do it? Go to Scotland. Favorite color? Teal, turquoise, aqua, the works. What's your favorite book, if any? Just answer that. When you're looking at other work, be it writing or voice acting, what do you look for? Depends on the mood. Depends on the mood. Yeah, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I really like fantasy and I really like historical works. But also, whenever I find something that I really want to listen to, do you ever like, oh, I want to listen to that, and then you put it in your watch later, and it's in your watch later for like a year because you're not emotionally prepared to watch what you want to watch? Just me? I don't know. Huh. Let me see. What's your favorite out of your own works, public or otherwise? My favorite. I think I'm most proud of the script that I wrote. It was my, well, two of them that I'm really proud of. No, actually three. I'm I'm really proud of this. But the audios that I wrote for Cardland Audio, uh, well, it wasn't like just for Cardland Audio at first, but Hysterical. That's a Not Safe for Work one. That was my very first Not Safe for Work script that I wrote for somebody else, or with the intent to give it to, like, as a script offer. I'm really proud of that because that encompasses everything that I love. If you really want to know, that's my shit. That's my shit. Like, but then there's also, well, Carlin Audio changed the title to The Dean, but I think I called it The Headmaster. That one I really like. I feel like that encompassed a lot of like, yeah, we're playing. This is like, who talks like this, really? But it was like that one, it was just, yeah, I'm making it not safe for work all the way. And it's like, yeah, we're playing. We're like, this is a script, you know? And then Kiss My Boot. I fucking loved Kiss My Boot because I was very proud how that was I think that was my first like Switch script. And I a lot of people complimented that it's really hard to successfully write a Switch script, but that was my first one and I did a good job on it, I think. So I'm very happy about that. And that also had kinks in there that nobody otherwise would have written about. So that's what I'm proud of. In terms of audios, I am very proud of Padded because I had no idea that it was going to get that big. I had no clue whatsoever that that was gonna be what like skyrocketed me into like this community. So thank you, and thank you for being here. Would you ever do another Wednesday Addams audio? I would if somebody wrote one. Um, I still have that costume. I do still have that. I need another purpose for that. And even though Wednesday was kind of a bad show, like once all the hype died down, people started to realize like, hey, this show actually wasn't that good. It kind of went off kilter. It kind of strayed away from like what Wednesday is really about. Like, I honestly don't think that she'd be that mean and she wouldn't be that standoffish. But that's just me. But I also know that people need to make a story and they have the right to kind of like go their own way in that aspect, I guess. Oh, thanks, Summers. Thanks. And oh, good that you're on break. Okay, I'll try to. This will still be up here, by the way. I know that for I have YouTube members. Like, I put like all the old like live streams there, but I'll keep this one up. I think I will. Let's see. Beyond your experience within the dynamic, what do you think makes an audio work for sub-oriented listeners? I can answer this question. Okay, so I think what makes it's like, oh, did I just do that? Oh my goodness, I love this question. I think hi Cassie, I'm okay. I love Pomeranians. It's like whenever somebody's shouting, they check up on you. I'm okay. Everything's fine. So I think what makes like a good like FDOM audio, at least like an audio for sub-oriented listeners, is that the DOM, well, part of it is like, okay, the DOM doesn't have to like convince the listener. Does that make sense in any way? It's like I like as a writer, I know that the listener is here because they read the tags and they want what they want. They want what's going to happen in the scenario, or they want to know what comes next. But a really good script, in my opinion, is where you don't have to convince the listener in order to do that, to get consent. It's nice when like the listener, at least the person in the listener role, is consistently playful and open to what's going on. So when I work off of that, then it's like, okay, then I can lead the scenario. It's like much easier that way. And also it does make it a lot easier if it's a script that I'm having fun writing, something that I know about. Yeah, I think that would be what makes it work. Now, but to play the F sub character and write it as if like the dominant person in the relationship is uh-oh, what up? Basically, it's very hard. It's really hard to like convince the dom or like make it so that way you know what the dom in that scenario is going to do next. Give me just 1 second, okay? Let me check on my doggy. What you doing? Come on, be nice to the kitty. Be nice to the kitty. Come on in. Come in. Come here. Stop bothering the kitty. Come on. Be good. Peek. You wanna go? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Be nice. Okay. Wait, you want it? Want it? Go get it. Okay. Cassie is really good at playing catch. Okay. Anyway, yeah, she was bothering my cat. Yeah, I think I answered the question well enough, I think. So, social media and general internet communities seem like elements that can be both beneficial and harmful to personal mental health. Tell me about it. If you don't mind answering, how do you navigate through the environment while avoiding the pitfalls like parasocial relationships or toxic interactions? Well, the problem with this is that I have not avoided the pitfalls of parasocial relationships. I'll admit it. I'm a fangirl. I really am. It's like, ugh. And I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I've fallen in that trap multiple times. And it's like, but also I know that I'm an adult. The voice actor I follow is an adult. There's a distance. In order to keep that art alive, there has to be a distance. and I have to know in myself, it's like a celebrity. Just me as being the listener, okay? Just, I know that there has to be a boundary. Because if there isn't, then it's not safe anymore. Then it's like, oh, we're in some massive trouble. So it's like, I am allowed to like what I like. I'm allowed to like who I like to like, but there still has to be that distance. I can't go any further than that. So I guess just reminding myself, like, I can like this person's work. I can continue to support him. All that jazz. But I can't interact more than what is, like, socially acceptable. If that makes sense. And I'm sure that you guys understand too. Because, I get random DMs. I get, like, the I love yous, and I get a lot of, like, unsolicited messaging, even though I've noted multiple times that I don't welcome that, even though I make a certain form of content, and people still do it. People still do it. And I'm in therapy right now where it's like, you can't prevent other people's actions, You really can't. And it instills such a big fear in me, like a bunch of, like, the toxicity of it all, and just the danger of it all and the interactions. It's like, you need to keep your distance and you need to know your boundaries. So I guess that's my only advice when it comes to that, is just knowing when to stop, and knowing and recognizing when other people want you to stop and continue to be a good person. That's that. From both a writing standpoint and in terms of audio production, what makes for an effective spanking scene with either safe for work or not safe for work story? Actually, I've been debating on whether or not spanking is safe for work or not. It's very difficult because, like, I've passed it on YouTube before, but yeah, even as somebody did mention to me in the forum before, I am afraid of getting booted off of YouTube because of that. Especially with this new series, so that's why I'm, like, taking stances so that way I am safe and that I can still do everything. So, okay. Just thinking about something real quick. Like, I guess kind of like what I said before, just knowing how to lead the scene. I mean, there's a whole bunch of, like, aspects that you can add to it to make it more realistic. I mean, the sound effects, the countdown aspect, the reinforcement of rules, the scolding, the stuff like that. Scolding feels fun. It's fun to scold. And it's fun to get scolded, like, and, like, degraded, stuff like that. So I like implementing that feeling, but also it helps to, like, I think the whole reason that, like, I think I'm good at it because I know what I like, and then I imagine what other people would like, and then that's how I write it. So I think that answers the question. Okay, last question I see here. Are there any concepts for stories that you'd love to perform because you haven't come across a script that quite does the idea justice? Oh, I'm sure there is. Well, for a while I thought it would be impossible because of dollification, but that's not true. I actually just recorded 2 dollification scripts. Not wrote. I recorded. I recorded 2 script offers. And what else did I do? You know what? You know what's kind of hard to find, actually? Sugar mama scripts. I find a lot of sugar daddy script offers, but not a lot of sugar mommy script offers. That was an idea that I wanted to return to, or, like, just stuff like that. I mean, wow, I'm running out of time, actually. um, quickly, let me roll into the next thing. So, my 2024, why did I say that? 2024, that questionnaire, it's still going to be up for a while because I realize that not everybody has had the chance to like go through that, which actually, let me do that right now. Let me write this out. Question. Wait. I don't know what to call it. Survey for 2024. There we go. So, like, if you haven't had the chance to fill that out, please do, because I want to know. I want your opinions. I don't know where to go from here. But what I can say from right now, from what everybody else has said, what? I'll explain in a second. I'm on a roll. Basically, audio still reigns supreme when it comes to what people want to see more of. I understand that. But also, I'm very happy that a lot of people still like the visual content of stuff, like the ASMR, like the collection videos, stuff like that, because that's stuff that I watch, and I want to do things that I would watch. I have like this other need to create like this. The Script Cabinet is still a channel where I feel like I should express what, like, you know, different art styles, different kind of videos that I want to do. So I'm happy that you guys would be interested in that too. Very funny. Very funny. So far, 6 out of 19 of you want more thirst traps, so at least somebody appreciates me. Excuse me. What would encourage you to join Patreon? So, I'm very happy that a lot of you that have already taken this survey have already pledged, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yes, I do hear you. I do understand to have cheaper tier options. So, I did actually bump down the $5 tier to the $3 tier because I offer early access, as well as like you can download those like public audios there if you like. I'm planning on also doing like some form of, one thing I want to implement is like having, like, I have the audio table, which it does work, but to have like some kind of download database that might be easier so people don't have to like search a lot, if that makes sense. Um and I also want to, I want to like move, I kind of want to change up how I'm to do commissions because, and yes, to answer one of the questions on here, yes, I have had success with commissions. However, I need to think up of a better way of how to do them. So I have thought of a way in which I can do um like commissions, like the price points, and like how to go about them, because it is easier than having like a Patreon. So like there is a benefit of having the commissions on Patreon, so that way you can have access to my other exclusive works as well. I feel like it's fair for the price, but also not everybody who actually pled to that tier communicated with me about the commissions. So that's something that I like, that was kind of a problem. So I understand that like maybe I should make it so that way if you want a commission, contact me directly. Something like that. So that way I'll have that price point, and that way it's not up to whether or not like people pledge to that tier. You know what I mean? But then I have to get more creative with like the tiers and stuff like that. So that's one thing I'm thinking about. And yes, don't you worry. Don't you worry. I am the first thing a great majority of you, a very, very big majority of you, wanted me to focus on the ABDL series first. I'm working on it. Don't worry. I'm working on it actually a lot quicker than I did with Padded. Um, I'm debating on finishing up Elikai as well first, just so that way I know like what to do, and I don't. That's not as big of a series, but I'm still doing one shots. Um, so yeah, stuff like that. Thought about doing like more live streams, but as I've said, I gotta plan ahead. Um, Oh, thanks, Devon. Annabeth, what got you into the ABDL scene? I can answer this question. So, actually, I think I was about, I don't know how old I was, but I know that I was less than 18 years old. Older than 15, younger than 18, I want to say. I found this YouTube series called The Secret Life of a Call Girl, and there was an episode where, it was about this call girl, and she gets hired. She's a prostitute essentially, but the series on YouTube, I don't know if it's still there. I mean, YouTube has added a lot more restrictions since like the premiere of that series, but there was an episode where she gets hired by a guy who is into ABDL. And so she had to navigate that for the first time. So it's out there somewhere. But yeah, the series is called Secret Life of a Call Girl. And that was when I first encountered that. And then I just looked into it more. And I found out that there's a interest in that. So, yeah. I bet you weren't expecting that kind of answer, though. But yeah, I am like taking all of the feedback. I am. And I'm also still taking requests. Let me see if there's any other thing. Let's see. Also, I love the person who wrote down yandere content, and more yandere content. Gee, I wonder if they want yandere content. And yes, people are asking for more F for F, more F for A. I also got a couple of new requests for audios. Will do. Will do. So yeah, I guess just like as of right now, oh, I feel like I should just mention this out right now because nobody's really talking about it as well. But about don't go to theater school. I stopped writing that out and I stopped doing that mainly because I was working on it in therapy. I was working on like in therapy about my theatrical background and how it was actually more harmful for me than good to be in the program that I was in. So that's why I had to stop that because it was like I had a thing going, I had an idea, and I still want to do at least one more audio when it comes to that. I could still do monologues and stuff. I have gotten better at singing actually, which Cardland Audio did a cover of The Other Side from The Greatest Showman, and I recorded that, but it was so, it's not that my singing was bad, but just the audio quality was so bad that I was like, oh my God, I never want to edit a track of me singing ever again because I can't get the volumes right. So I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing, but chances are, no, it's not. It's not that attractive as it is, but I mean, at least I can prove to myself that I have gotten better. I've been practicing. But yeah, I do at least want to at least have one discussion in which I talk about like what I as an actress used to do to prepare for auditions, like how I would pick the monologues and stuff like that. I really want to like offer that kind of advice because literally if you got that down, you can rule the world. And I'd like to give you that advice because I don't really plan on auditioning anymore. I really don't. Um, let alone like a lot of the audition tapes that a lot of the audition recordings that I went out, it was like people either never responded back to me or, I just got told like flat out like, no, we already picked someone else. And it's like, okay, whatever, fucking fine. Yeah. It's a whole lot of energy that I don't want to do. So I have a lot more success here than anything else. Okay. Any last questions? Any last questions before I end all of this? Any plans for spanking audios? I have one idea in the back of my mind. There is going to be one episode in the new series, as I've leaked a little bit on my Instagram stories, which if you aren't following me there, I do recommend you going there because I've been more active over there as well. But as far as one-shots go, I have one idea, but I gotta get better at the idea. So that is what is going on. Any more questions before I let you guys go? Oh, thanks, Emmers. Thanks, Joey. Well, I hope that you all have a very happy new year. I hope that everything is good and fine and dandy. I really want to get out of my comfort zone when it comes to this live streams because it's like I realize that I'm very much alone as it is because I haven't spoken to my friends in so long. But yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being kind. And I'm gonna try to do some editing later today, but first I'm probably gonna make a cup of tea before I do that. So I just remembered that I have bloopers that I could post. I wonder if that'll get any kind of traction. All right, guys. Happy New Year, and I hope you have a good day. And yeah, I was about to say stay in school, but I hope that, like, well, yeah, stay in school if you're still going. I'm not going to say what I was about to say because that would have spoiled something. Okay. Love you guys. Bye bye.